Right then, welcome back to the channel. 5 things we learned then against Crystal Palace. It was the very definition of a game of two halves. We left with a 2-1 win, but the performance tells us a little bit more complicated story than just getting the 3 points on the board. So I'm going to break down what I believe are the 5 biggest takeaways from the match, because there is a hell of a lot to talk about, good and bad. A couple of individuals absolutely deserve some flowers. First things first then, game of two halves. First half was rough. Absolutely zero sugarcoating it. United honestly could have been 2 down before the break. And we wouldn't really have had too much argument about that, to be honest. Palace were winning all the physical battles, all of the duels. They were quicker to second balls. And our midfield, especially off the ball, just couldn't really get a grip of them. The movement was too good for us. The spacings weren't quite right. And it wasn't quite tactical chaos. It wasn't really a lack of shape. It was simply a case of Palace being a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more hungry, and a little bit more physically dominant than us. Their press wasn't even elite, really, but our ability to handle it was absolutely miles off. Palace won the midfield exchanges. They pushed us back. They forced mistakes, I think it'd be fair to say. And if they had been more clinical, we would have been talking about them smashing us in the first half. Needless to say, it went in at 1-0, gave us the opportunity in the second half. And football matches can swing on that momentum and small moments. Once they began to tire, and the manager came out and said after 35 minutes he thought they were done, and God, he was right, wasn't he? United suddenly looked more composed. The technical execution improved massively. The first touches were cleaner. The passes were sharper. The angles were opening up. We played on one touch a little bit more. And instead of being bullied in midfield, we started to dictate. And the pace became United's pace. And Palace dropped 5 yards deeper, and then 10. And then suddenly they weren't winning those second balls. And they weren't stepping onto everything with the same sort of intensity. And from a couple of minutes into the second half, United started to manage the game. And it wasn't perfect, but it was controlled. And it was patient. And it was calm. And that's a word that we've not had in a long time, calm. And the second half was very professional and measured. And it wasn't brilliant football. It was smart football. And we were punishing Palace, and we were clinical. And that is what got us the 3 points. The holidays are here, which means it's time to give the gift of smoothness. Whether you are shopping for your partner, your brother, or yourself, we don't judge. Manscaped's Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the ultimate upgrade for your nutsack. Just because nothing says happy holidays like a perfectly groomed cock and balls. From trimming to freshening up, this all-in-one grooming kit keeps you clean, confident, and ready for any festive occasion. You can even tie mistletoe to it. I'm not going to judge you. So go ahead, unwrap confidence this season with Manscaped. Head over to Manscaped and join 13 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Use the code Howson for 25% of your entire order. Now, it is an all-in-one grooming kit. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is your ultimate holiday helper, taking care of everything from below-the-waist maintenance to taming those rogue nose and ear hairs. Think of it as your seasonal survival kit, keeping you clean, confident, and ready to dominate cuffing season and all the festive gatherings ahead. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Groin and Body Hair Trimmer is the star of the holiday grooming lineup. Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra delivers precise, smooth trimming every single time. It is reliable, it is efficient, and it is ready to perform whether you're prepping for a holiday date night, the office party, or just staying fresh for family gatherings. Bit weird, but okay. Weed Whacker 3.0, that's for the ear, the nose, the eyebrows, all that sort of stuff. Trim all those stray hairs your face likes to create. No surprises, no awkward moments with a Weed Whacker. Stay polished, stay confident, and ready for every single occasion. And then they've got a ball aftercare coming with the package as well. After a close shave, give your most precious ornaments some much needed TLC with a Crop Soother, which is ball aftershave lotion, and Crop Preserver, which is anti-chafing ball deodorant, which will keep you fresh and comfortable and ready to slay all day. You even get a couple of free gifts in there as well. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra doesn't just stop at grooming essentials. It comes with 2 holiday bonuses. You've got the Boxers 2.0 in the colourway Midnight Bravo and the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag. Premium extras make sure that you are always ready to jingle and mingle, whether you're home or on the go. Give the gift a smooth this season with Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. Get 25% off your entire order with the code Howson. That's HOWSON at manscaped.com. 25% off with the code Howson at manscaped.com. Stay on top of your grooming game and be ready for anything this season throws your way. Number 2, individuals made the difference. it was not a tactical masterclass, and it wasn't a complete performance. It was a very, very close game of football. But the difference was because of Joshua Zirkzee and Mason Mount's finishing. And if we start with Zirkzee, his goal came from 0.03 XG, 3%. That's basically the statistical equivalent of don't shoot from there. And yet, the technique, the balance, the first touch, the timing, unbelievable. It was the finish from a striker that scored 20 all season, right? It was the confidence to hit that when you had no right to. Most players, including Zirkzee, shanking that into row Z, but he lashes it into the net from an angle that doesn't even look real. And even on the replay, you kind of go in, how the fuck has he done that? And then Mason Mount's free kick. Again, mad low XG. A brilliant strike from pure technical precision. It's up and over. The keeper's got absolutely no chance. 2 moments of quality from players who absolutely needed to deliver some sort of a statement. And that's the reality of the team right now. Players are winning matches for us. And we have players that are capable of those sorts of moments. What we don't have yet is the consistency to dominate football matches for 90 minutes. And, that's a future evolution. Not necessarily the next evolution, but it is an evolution that probably needs to happen. Certainly one that the manager wants to happen. When you stop needing that brilliance to bail you out, you start winning games because you're the better team for long, long stretches of the game. And I don't think that was the case yesterday. But if you're going to be inconsistent, it helps if you've got players who can change the game on their own. And 2 very unlikely ones popped up for us yesterday. Number 3, Luke Shaw deserves some credit. And I think Luke Shaw does deserve a little bit of credit all to himself because it was a really good game from him. He was popping up inside the box. Is it a case of World Cup year? I don't know, maybe. But he made a couple of goal-saving interventions in the first half. He was reading danger probably earlier than most on the pitch. He covered inside when Palace overloaded the box. He was winning duels. He was stopping cutbacks. There was a blocked shot. He bailed teammates out in moments where Palace looked like they genuinely could score. And I think if Luke Shaw wasn't on that pitch yesterday, United might have actually been out of it by half-time. Offensively, there was some quality on the ball from him as well, his passing and his composure. But defensively, he was very, very good. He kept United going. And it does raise a very interesting question. Under Amorim, Shaw looks like a permanent starter, a favourite of his. Is that an issue for Lisandro Martinez? Personally, I don't think it is. I think what it does is it allows Lisandro Martinez to come back progressively. And I think what we've seen with Lisandro in the past is that he's been rushed back into playing because there's been nobody else and we're getting carved apart. There's no need for that right now. You can let him come back and drip him in like we did yesterday. Give him 10 minutes. Next week, maybe he gets 15. Maybe he goes back to 10 because he's not recovered quite as much as we wanted him to. And it means that you can just be a little bit more patient, and that might mean that he comes back stronger than forcing him back a little bit quicker and risking him re-injuring or maybe not coming back all the way. I don't think it's an issue. I think just let Lisandro get himself recovered. Once he's back fully fit, then you can start having a conversation about who your first choice is. But right now, Luke Shaw's in decent form, and it'll be one that we absolutely revisit at some point later on in the season. Number 4, Joshua Zirkzee scored a goal. That deserves its own section, doesn't it? Because it wasn't just a goal. It was a little bit of a shift of a narrative. I said he was done last week. I said he's just signed his Manchester United transfer away because the performance last week was abysmal against Everton. Absolutely non-event it was. Now, him scoring his first goal in 25 appearances doesn't necessarily change that, I don't think. But it was a fantastic goal. Last week there was a lot of like, what even is he? Is he even a striker? And a lot of that noise can build with time. But the ball hits the back of the net, and the narrative does change. It wasn't just a goal. It was probably a release of pressure for him. And you could feel that in the stadium. He went on a really good run after the ice-cold penalty he scored against Arsenal last year. Maybe that goal does the same again. The goal knocked the stuffing out of Palace. It lifted United. It changed the crowd. It changed the body language of all the teammates. And suddenly United started playing with a little bit of belief. Was Joshua Zirkzee perfect yesterday? No. There were still possession losses. There were still sloppy touches. There was still a moment where he didn't link play. He didn't get ahead of play. But at the highest level, nobody's perfect. And for a backup striker, can he put the ball in the back of the net? Well, he did with a fantastic goal and in a big moment away from home. He did it under pressure. That is what mattered. But I need to see him doing it more, because right now I still don't have the confidence that this team can score goals if Mbuemo's not the one that's doing it. So if he can start adding consistent goals while Sesko's out, that's going to help massively. And number 5, pressure eased, hopefully, because you're only one result away from a disaster at United. Getting that result against Crystal Palace definitely did ease a little bit of pressure. We're right in the mix in the league table at the moment. Wins always do that for you. Does it answer all the concerns about consistency, control, lack of finishing, the first half performance? No, does it, Al? But it gives us a bit of breathing room. It's certainly no sign that everything's going to be fine. Certainly not that we've turned a corner. We still saw a poor first half. We saw a good second half. There was big moments from individuals. There was a little bit of an improvement in some technical execution, certainly in the second half. But it's not a team that's got a 90-minute dominant performance in them just yet. It's a team that can still switch off. It's a team that can still make mistakes. But it is also a team that's got character, that's got grit, and can come from behind and win a game. And that's important. Under Amorim, there is a desire to build something more stable, more balanced, more consistent. And we didn't see the final product of that, I don't think. But we got a very important result against a team that's hard to beat at the moment, because that's what Crystal Palace are. We have to admit that. If we can back that up with a win against a poor West Ham side on Thursday night, the table's going to start to separate soon. United just need to make sure we're in that top bit and not in the bit that's playing catch-up. The question is, can we do that? Can we start to build on it? Because we are in a run of games now where we should be able to rack up some wins. But will we? Let me know in the comments how you think this is going to go out the next month or so. And where will United be come the 1st of January? See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.